What if we told you that a small, serene, landlocked country in Europe, situated on a mountain, has a fascinating history as an independent republic? It holds a rare distinction as the oldest surviving country on Earth, and it is older than most empires that existed till recent times. Above all, this country has never been conquered since the year 301 AD. It remained free during turbulent times of great wars that swept across Europe and has remained a republic with a unique government structure for more than 1,700 years. Sounds impossible, isn't it? But it's a fact. Now, you may think that we are talking about Rome. No, it's not Rome. This is about a real ancient republic. This is San Marino, the world's oldest surviving republic. This video explores the history of San Marino's republican government and its remarkable independence for such a long period. Let's discover how San Marino made this possible by maintaining peace while the whole of Europe faced the tremors of invasion, wars, and revolutions. This small nation began its journey in 301 AD and continues its journey forward with no kings, no emperors, and no problems, all thanks to its belief in freedom and republican government. Interestingly, San Marino even tackled Napoleon Bonaparte, Adolf Hitler, and Benito Mussolini, an achievement even big countries can't claim. Now, in this video, we will delve into the lesser-known secrets and legacy of San Marino, as well as its unique government structure that has helped them remain unflinching during tough times. And trust us, by the end of this video, you will be astonished. Each time when travelers cross San Marino's border, the first thing they notice is a board with an Italian sentence, Antica Terra della Libertà, which means the ancient land of freedom. This land of freedom is situated on the Italian peninsula near the Adriatic coast, bordering the regions of Marche and Emilia-Romagna, and spans an area of approximately 61 square kilometers. This predominantly Roman Catholic country has a total population of 35,995 who speak Italian in the form of the Romagnolo dialect. This is the world's fifth smallest country, and its capital is San Marino City, located near the center of the country atop Mount Titano. Even though they lack critical resources, San Marino's per capita income is $59,600 US, and clearly, they are wealthier than their neighbor, Italy, and other larger European countries. Another remarkable demographic feature of San Marino is that 1/3 of San Marinese nationals reside outside their country, primarily in Italy, France, the United States, and Argentina. Apart from them, 12% of San Marinese residents hold Italian nationality. This country is divided into 9 municipalities, or castelli, such as Serravalle. San Marino is neither a signatory to the Schengen Agreement nor a member of the European Union. However, due to its earlier bilateral agreements with Italy, its border remains unobstructed. Although not a member of the EU, San Marino has signed a customs union treaty, which allows the country to participate in the European Common Market and eliminate trade barriers. Before the introduction of a common currency, their currency was the Sammarinese lira, a currency pegged with the Italian lira, and now the euro is used for transactions. In 2001, San Marino got the right to mint its own euro coins. San Marino stands out for its remarkable tradition of nurturing and promoting effective leadership. Typically, either a monarch or a president holds the position of head of state. However, in San Marino, it is the captain regent, and the country does not have a prime minister. It is not a single person, and San Marino is a country where 2 people share the role of head of state. The 2 captains regent keep switching seats every 6 months without causing chaos, noise, or complaints. This is not fiction, but a reality that they still follow the old strange tradition of governance. How did San Marino originate? A relevant question, isn't it? The answer is clear from an ancient book. The Life of Saint Marinus, whose oldest copy dates back to the 10th century, informs us that its history dates back to the 3rd century AD and credits its origin to a pious Christian stonemason from the island of Rab in modern Croatia called Saint Marinus. He came to the town of Rimini in the year 257 AD as a refugee due to the persecution of Christians by Emperor Diocletian. Later, he received Mount Titano as a gift from Donna Felicissima, where he built a monastery and a chapel in 301 AD and moved to Mount Titano. This self-governing community later evolved into a free country known as San Marino. It is from the name of Saint Marinus. The country got its name, San Marino. For centuries, San Marino was limited to Mount Titano, and in the 14th and 15th centuries, the other Castelli joined this land of liberty. We don't have clear insights into its administration during the early days of this commune, as per the writings decision-making institution called Aringo, governed by 2 consuls, which existed in this republic. It was a council composed of all Sammarinese heads of family, or capitamilia, and remained the most competent decision-making authority. Even though its membership was limited to male members, it was a system of participatory decision-making during the medieval times. Later, the largest part of the Aringo's powers were transferred to a representative body called the Council of 60. After the transformation of San Marino into a system of direct decision-making by representatives elected by popular votes, the Aringo continues to exist and can still be convoked in situations of extraordinary importance. By this time, a question will be raised in your mind. How did a small country manage other countries successfully and secure their autonomy? The answer is that they always maintained a policy of neutrality, abstained from international affairs, kept a low profile to avoid unwanted attention, signed mutual agreements with others, secured formal protection, ensured the intense loyalty of the people towards the country, and above all, conferred honorary citizenships on other prominent world leaders. It sounds simple, but in reality, it isn't easy to accomplish, even for large countries. However, San Marino successfully implemented it. At least from the 13th century onwards, San Marino began to gradually shift away from the sacerdotal power of the clergy to a typical Italian municipality. From that point on, many times, they faced the pressure of ecclesiastical power from papal states. Even though the Vatican recognized San Marino's sovereignty in 1291 and 1627, it maintained a long-standing alliance with the Counts of Urbino, who occupied adjacent lands spanning the borders with the Lords of Rimini, and this clever strategy protected them. Pope Clement VIII and Pope Urbanus VIII confirmed and granted them protection, but some of the successors didn't acknowledge it. When we say unoccupied, it doesn't mean they never faced an infiltration attempt by an aggressor. In reality, they suffered it twice, but they successfully thwarted both. The first incident was in 1503. The Italian Cardinal Cesare Borgia, also known as Valentino, tried to occupy it and took over the Republic for a few months. The new pontiff, Julius II, forced the aggressor to vacate the area. The next attempt happened 200 years later. In 1739, Cardinal Giulio Alberoni attempted to bring San Marino under control. During the invasion, people rebelled against the invading troops, and by February 5th, 1740, the Pope intervened in favor of San Marino. The decision of the Pope and the effort of the Holy See's delegate, Enrico Enriquez, helped them retain their liberty. After this incident, February 5th became an important date for the Sammarinese people. and each year they commemorate it with the feast of the co-patroness of San Marino, Saint Agatha. Another important feature of San Marino is their statute, or the Constitution. Since the first statute of 1600, the most ancient written constitution in the world, the people strictly maintained their loyalty to their constitution, protocols, institutions, and government structure. This loyalty and allegiance helped San Marino to protect freedom during turbulent periods. The next major incident was the conquest of northern Italy in 1796. Napoleon Bonaparte, who had burnt down many European cities into ashes, was impressed when he came to know about San Marino's history. General Bonaparte believed that the extraordinary history of San Marino's independence was similar to the anti-clerical and republican ideals of the French Revolution. So, he decided not to touch this small republic and was completely aware of the positive propagandistic effect of his decision not to invade a republic. Napoleon's pledge to respect the autonomy and history of San Marino resulted in an agreement that conferred legitimacy. He also offered them 1,000 quintals of grains, 4 cannons, and a significant increase in its territory. This is the time when the leadership was raised to an extraordinary level of diplomacy. San Marino, under Antonio Onofre, politely refused it because they were aware of the reprisals from their neighbors. They were not ready to compromise their future for some square kilometers of land. Thus, they effectively secured favors from both and made their position strong. San Marino also signed formal commercial agreements with the Roman Republic in March 1798, the Cisalpine Republic in 1798, and the Italian Republic in June 1802, which helped the country survive turbulent times. The 1800s was a period of complex political ideas, protests, and turbulence caused by uprisings. After the fall of General Bonaparte at Waterloo, San Marino started its work to re-establish cordial relations with the Holy See in Rome. But it was not an easy task. Influential politicians like Antonio Onofre tried to normalize the situation, but only managed to secure a commercial deal with the Vatican in 1817. Those days, radicals used to seek asylum in San Marino, and because of this problem, the Vatican warned San Marino in 1832. In 1834, Carlo Fea, commissioner for antiquities in Rome, published a document claiming the sovereign rights of the Holy See over the Republic of San Marino. However, San Marino remained independent and continued to uphold its republican ideals. In 1849, another crisis arose in San Marino. This time, the refugee was Giuseppe Garibaldi, a prominent person who fought for Italian unification. Even after San Marino's official refusal of asylum, he, along with his men, entered the Sammarinese territory. However, the Austrian army, led by Archduke Ernest, didn't violate San Marino's sovereignty and decided not to cross the border. Instead, the Austrian army proposed a surrender plan, but Garibaldi did not accept it. Later, after this rejection, the Austrian army entered San Marino and searched for refugees. Later, he disbanded his army and escaped from San Marino, along with some 150 men with the help of guides from San Marino. This incident caused serious trouble for then-Captain Regent Domenico Maria Belzoppi. So, to avoid further problems that may affect his country, Belzoppi decided to exile himself from San Marino and kept a distance from his country's politics until his death. In 1851, the Church sanctioned a military action to expel political refugees from San Marino. This was an aggression towards their integrity. In 1853, another unfortunate incident occurred, and the then Secretary of State of San Marino was killed. Before the situation worsened further, in 1854, San Marino secured formal protection from Emperor Napoleon III of France. France thus became the first country to recognize San Marino as a sovereign country officially. Finally, on March 17, 1861, the Kingdom of Italy was finally born. And on March 22, 1862, San Marino signed an agreement with King Victor Emmanuel and secured formal recognition. This agreement was special for San Marino because this agreement with 30 articles guarded them against many problems. It helped to deal effectively with extradition rights, provided an option for mutual recognition of court orders, and above all, both sides agreed not to entertain deserters. Article 29 gave a promise from Italy that they would provide friendship and protection to San Marino in case of trouble without interfering with the sovereign rights. Even though this agreement provided safety, it caused a strain on the relationship with the Vatican. But the Republic continued its safe journey until the last years of the Second World War. In 1944, the neutral stance of San Marino was questioned, and an air raid was launched against them based on wrong information, which claimed many lives. In September 1944, the Axis powers tried to occupy them. This time, the Allied powers came to help. After the war, a coalition government of communists and socialists came to power in San Marino. Thus, San Marino became the only country in Western Europe to elect a government with communist participation democratically. However, the relationship with Italy became strained, resulting in an 18-month blockade. At last, in 1957, when some of the MPs decided to withdraw their support, the government became a minority in the council. This forced the government to call for fresh elections. Now, the opposition did not accept it. They formed a provisional government in the Roverta. This government was immediately recognized as legitimate by Italy, France, and the US. Italy even planned to send 150 carabinieri, or armed policemen, to San Marino to protect the provisional government. At last, the minority government resigned, and Christian Democrats, along with other dissenting MPs, formed a government. These incidents are known as the Fatti di Rovereto. In this standoff, no casualties occurred on either side, and neither side attempted to seize power through violence. Following this incident, under the new government, the economy experienced significant progress and underwent numerous changes. Females got the right to vote in 1958, but it was implemented for the first time in 1964. Passive electoral rights were granted to women in 1973. In 1978, communists returned to the helm due to a historical compromise between two arch rivals, the Christian Democrats and the Communists. After the fall of the Berlin Wall, communism collapsed in European countries, and in San Marino, the original party disintegrated and two new left parties appeared. The presence of multiple parties in this small republic led to some instability in the government, but didn't affect the existence based on Republican principles. Before concluding this video, we will explore two additional interesting areas: the unique governance of San Marino and a fascinating tool known as honorary citizenship. San Marino grants honorary citizenship to prominent individuals, which serves as another important diplomatic tool for the country. Giuseppe Garibaldi received it in April 1861. While accepting, he said, "I am proud to be a citizen of this virtuous republic." The most important honorary citizen of San Marino was none other than Abraham Lincoln. He received this honor immediately after his election as U.S. President in 1860. At present, San Marino follows a parliamentary democracy. Its government, the Congress di Stato, or State Congress, composed of 10 secretaries of state, exercises the executive power in the country and is accountable to San Marino's parliament, the Great and General Council. The two-state heads system is unique in the world and is the only country in the world to follow such a system. Andorra also has 2 co-princes, but they are not Andorrans. One will be the French president, and the second co-prince will be the Spanish Bishop of Urgell. Here, both co-regents will be of Sammarinese origin. The captain's regent preside over the state congress. Since the post of prime minister is vacant, the Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs is generally considered the most authoritative minister within the Congress. Above all, San Marino has the shortest term for heads in the world, and they are elected by the members of the Great and General Council from among its members. To avoid the concentration of power, decisions are made on the basis of collegiality. Therefore, any decisions must be approved by both office holders. Most importantly, the captain regents will not have the right to vote. They are prohibited from being elected to this position again for a period of at least 3 years. This provision will prevent the concentration of power in one hand and avert the rise of a dictator. Each castelli has their own local administration called the Junta di Castello, with their own assembly. It is directly elected by the residents of the castelli and is led by a Capitano di Castello. To preserve impartiality in a society where everybody knows each other, San Marino's judges are mostly hired from Italy. This shows the extreme care taken by San Marino to preserve impartiality. This small republic also maintains several direct democracy institutions, such as the Arengo, to encourage citizen participation in governance. Now, instead of invoking it, they invoke Istanze d'Arengo twice a year. Here, every citizen can present petitions and suggestions of public interest to the newly elected Capitines regents. They also organize referendums to further strengthen the foundation of Republican ideas and can be abrogative, confirmatory, or proposing. To initiate the proposing type, the signatures of 60 Sammarinese citizens and approval by the Constitutional Court are required. This balance mechanism will prevent unnecessary requests. For an abrogative referendum, signatures of 1.5% of registered voters are required. Referendums can also be initiated by at least 5 of the 9 Junta di Castellos. Every country can't follow the same strategies to solve its issues because each one has unique situations and problems. If a small country like San Marino can effectively survive through diplomatic strategies, then most countries can learn a great deal from it. Thank you for watching our video on San Marino. If you enjoyed it, please share the video with your friends. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel, and you never miss out on forthcoming content. Now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because we would like to hear your suggestions. See you in the next video.